What's up guys, it's Adel and I'm back with another video. Before you watch this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and on TikTok, which is at Podeki Media, which should be right over here. As you can see from the title of this video, I'll be unboxing the Postal Service's album Give Up, but this is going to be a pretty unique video right here. I actually did an unboxing video for this video in 2021, and I actually didn't get around to finishing the video back then. The draft of this video has just been chilling in my vault on Adobe Premiere, and I'm finally getting around to actually finishing it now. And I'm finishing it now because I recently got tickets to see the 20th anniversary show for Death Cab for Cutie's album Transatlanticism, and for the Postal Service's 20th anniversary of the release of Give Up. So I felt like this was the perfect time to go ahead, finish this video, and you'll just see how I looked like 2 years ago in the midst of the pandemic right there. And when I look back at the original video, it was a different time. It was 1 year into COVID, and a lot of people were still wearing masks, and people were still doing the internal capacities for certain businesses. So people waiting outside in line, waiting till people could just go inside stores and whatnot and restaurants. And it's 2023 now, and despite the mask mandates not really being a thing anymore, COVID is still actually on the rise again, but that's a different story. Back in 2021, I was probably sitting around 400 subscribers at the time, and now I'm over 1,000. And also, one key thing is I was not on TikTok in 2021, and now I am at Podeki Media. Go follow it. So without further ado, here is the video. What's up guys, it's Adel and I'm back with another video. Before you watch this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and make sure you follow me on Instagram too, which will be right over here. If you'd like to see me unbox any album, just comment down below in the comments or message me on Instagram and I'll get back to you. I'm back with another vinyl unboxing video, and this time around I'll be unboxing the Postal Service's album Give Up. For those of you who don't know, the Postal Service is a side project that was created by the lead singer of Death Cab for Cutie, Ben Gibbard, and DJ electronica producer Danny Tamborello. And after briefly researching about this project, the way that this project came about was that Danny Tamborello and Ben Gibbard wanted to collaborate on a project. So, knowing that Ben Gibbard, who lives in Seattle, and Danny Tamborello, who lived in Los Angeles, Danny would send basically CDs out to Ben Gibbard through the mail, and it just contained all these instrumentals, and Ben Gibbard would pick up the CDs that were sent to Sub Pop Records' office and just listen to the CDs and just kind of hum along and write to it. And basically this is how they made music, where Danny Tamborello would send CDs out to Ben Gibbard and they would just make music like that. That is how they came up with the name the Postal Service for this project. Now this album has a very heavy indie synth pop and electronica influence. This album came out in the early 2000s, in 2003, and I would say it had a very big influence on the whole indie music scene. And the best way to describe the songs and messages on this album is that it has a very heavy message that focuses on relationships and friendships, and it has a very big coming of age kind of mood, and just the way that someone matures as they're going through life. I remember listening to this album for the first time around 2007, which was when I was about 14 years old, when I was in middle school. And that was the age where I basically was listening to all these different types of music and just basically introducing myself to all these different genres and artists. And I remember that I really liked a lot of songs off of this album. And I remember being reintroduced to this album when I was a freshman in college, because my freshman year roommate would play a bunch of songs off this album on a playlist that he would listen to whenever he needed to go to sleep. And it was at that point I didn't realize that Ben Gibbard was also the lead singer of the Postal Service. I guess that I always thought that oh, the lead singer of the Postal Service and Death Cab for Cutie have very similar voices. But I never made the connection at that point until where I realized Ben Gibbard sings on these songs too. Anyway, I really like this album. I feel like all the songs really mesh well together and it's very cohesive. If anyone is looking into getting more into like indie music that has more of like an electronica synth kind of sound, I would say that this is probably one of the first records you should listen to. It has a really good sound from when you're just gonna wake up in the morning and start your day when it's still kind of dark outside, or in those early hours of the morning, or it's great to listen to when you're on a night drive too, or if you're just relaxing at night. Some of my favorite tracks off this album are The District Sleeps Alone Tonight, Such Great Heights, which is probably the most popular song and most well-known song by them, Nothing Better, Clark Gable, Will Become Silhouettes, and Brand New Colony. And it's also pretty remarkable that this album is actually the second highest selling album off of Sub Pop Records, and this was basically just a side project for the people involved on this project. And this is the only album that is made by the Postal Service, and it definitely has made its impact after all of these years. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the record itself. So here is the record for Give Up by the Postal Service. This version of the album is actually the 10th anniversary pressing for the album. This album actually comes on 3 LPs. The first LP consists of the original 10-track album. The second LP consists of B-sides and covers by the band. And the third LP comes with a bunch of remixed tracks and covers from other artists. And this packaging has a bit of weight to it. It has 3 LPs, so it definitely needs more space. It looks like it comes in a book type of packaging, so that's pretty cool. Some of the covers by the band on here are the song Suddenly Everything Has Changed, which is a song by the Flaming Lips. Then the next song is Against All Odds, which is a cover of a Phil Collins song. And then the last one is Grow Old With Me, which is a John Lennon song. And then the covers by the other artists covering the Postal Service on this album are Will Become Silhouettes, which is performed by the Shins, and Such Great Heights by Iron and Wine. And I really like that cover of Such Great Heights by Iron and Wine because it just completely strips it down to an acoustic song, and that version of the song is pretty well known too. I recently got this record a couple weeks ago when I traveled to Los Angeles, where I visited Amoeba Records. And for those of you who don't know, Amoeba Records is a chain of record stores that is located in California, and it's probably one of the most well-known record stores in the world. They recently reopened at a new location, and it was pretty cool going to that store once again. There were a lot of people there, and as I was going through all the records, since they have a very big selection of records, I stumbled upon this version of the album, knowing that I didn't have this record in my record collection and I always wanted to get it. I never seen this version at any record store before that I visited. So once I stumbled upon this, I knew it was that opportunity to go ahead and get this record. And here is the record. I'm packaging it. So yeah, it really is like a book with the spining right here. I guess the best way to describe the layout of this record is that it's a trifold record, since as you can flip through these pages right here where you see the artwork of each single, the first one being the artwork for We Will Become Silhouettes, and then the second artwork you see here is the single artwork for Such Great Heights, and then the final artwork you see here is for The District Sleeps Alone Tonight. Each record comes on a standard black LP just like this. It also comes in a big booklet just like this, and as I flip through the pages of the booklet, you can see some portraits and art. You could also see the track listings and the credits and lyrics to each of the songs. You can see more portraits here. You see a portrait right here of Ben Gibbard and Danny Tamborello there. And then you also could see some band portraits for the other members of the band, such as Jenny Lewis. And then you can see some individual portraits of the band members too. And that's really about it for the record itself. So what I'm gonna do now is play a few tracks off of the Postal Service's Give Up. That was Give Up by the Postal Service. I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch me unbox and talk about this video. If you like the Postal Service's album, comment below what songs you like about it. If you never listened to this album before, I'd recommend you listen to it. And I'm also still taking recommendations for records to unbox, so comment down below or just DM me on Instagram and I'll get back to you. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you all, and I'll see you all later.